right, welcome back to Focal Point AFR Talk. Now, I think one of the most important civic lessons that I can communicate to you, and again, this is my own personal view. I'm not speaking for anybody else, but this is based on my research and my conviction about what the founders were seeking to do with the First Amendment. And realize the First Amendment has never been amended. We've repealed other amendments or we've altered them in some way, but we repealed the amendment about prohibition. 14 years later, we completely revoked that thing. We repealed it. It's out of here. It's history. It's in the archives. But we have never tampered with the First Amendment. That's never been touched. It's never been amended. It's never been revoked. It's never been repealed. It's never been tampered with. Its words have never been changed. So it means today exactly what it meant in 1789, which means that by the word religion in the First Amendment, the founders meant Christianity. I don't know if you remember this, when I was a kid, like in grade school, we'd ask people on the playground, what religion are you? I remember that was a question we would ask. What religion are you? That's the word we would use. What religion are you? And people would say, well, I'm a Baptist, or I'm a Catholic, or I'm a Methodist, or I'm a this, or I'm a that. It was always some response about what Christian church they went to. But that was the question we used. What religion are you? Because that was the only religion in town, was Christianity. At the time of the founding, 99.8% of the population of the colonies, what became the states, were Christians. The other 0.2% were Jews. I think there were something like 7 synagogues in the United States of America by 1795. That was it. There was almost no Jewish presence, no presence of Judaism on these shores at the time of the founding. Now, I may be wrong specifically about the number of synagogues and that precise date, but it's in that neighborhood. Anyway, I don't want you to quote me on that, but it's in that neighborhood. I don't have it right in front of me. But the point is, by religion, the founders were thinking of Christianity. So the purpose was to protect the free exercise of the Christian faith. It wasn't about protecting anything else. They weren't providing any cover or shelter for the free exercise of Islam or even Judaism or even atheism. They weren't saying you can't do it. I want to be clear on that. They weren't prohibiting that. They were just saying that's not what we're talking about here. And when it comes to what happens with Islam, when it comes to what happens with Judaism, when it comes to what happens with Hinduism or Buddhism, according to the founders, that was an issue for the states to deal with. The states had virtually unilateral authority to regulate religion and religious expression in their states any way that they wanted to. Now, the reason I'm taking some time with this is because we have this story out of Florida where a Ten Commandments monument this is Oklahoma actually, from Oklahoma, where a Ten Commandments monument was placed on the grounds of the state capitol. And the Satanists came along and said, hey, well, if you get your Ten Commandments statue or monument, we get our Satanist monument. So they are pressing political leaders of Oklahoma City to allow them to erect a monument to Satan right next to the Ten Commandments. Now, here's where the meaning of the word religion becomes absolutely critical. In other words, if you overlook the first word of the First Amendment, which you got to do first, you got to overlook this about Congress. In other words, Congress, the federal government, federal judges have no authority over what Oklahoma does with religious monuments. They can do whatever they want. They can do whatever their state constitution permits them to do. That's none of the federal government's business. They are restrained from intervening in any way whatsoever with the exercise of religious expression in Oklahoma. That's for the state of Oklahoma to decide. And I'm pretty sure every state constitution has got some protection for the free exercise of religion, probably uses words to that effect. And here's where the definition of the word religion becomes absolutely critical. And that's why I'm taking time with this. If by religion, the founders and the founders of the state of Oklahoma meant Christianity, then you can ban a monument to Satan because that's not Christianity. Doesn't claim to be Christian. In fact, it claims to be the polar opposite. But if by religion you mean anything any system of belief, whether it's Christian or not, then you have no way to tell a Satanist you can't have your monument. You have to let the Satanists put their monument up. If by religion you mean any system of belief that anybody wants to adopt. If it's Christianity, if religion, by religion, the founders of the country in Oklahoma meant Christianity, then you can say, no, we're not going to let you do it. Our Constitution protects the free exercise of the Christian religion. Yours is not a Christian expression. We're not going to have that monument. So that's why it's so important. Because if we don't understand the word religion to mean Christianity as the founders intended it, then we have no way to stop Islam. We have no way to stop Satanism. We have no way to stop any other sort of sinister religious practice that might creep onto the fruited plains. That's why I'm taking time with this. Oklahoma has the authority, according to the Constitution, to say a flat no to this Satanist monument. Now, while we're on the subject of Christmas, which we were not, I want to shift gears a little bit, and I want to talk about Santa Claus.